What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got to finish the year. That's right, last video of 2021, and we are talking about some of the weirder Digimon TCG news which has come around over the past few months. What we've got is news of the registration for US nationals, shall we say, not going as smoothly as one might hope, and news of an incoming ban list with honestly not a huge amount of information as to what will be banned, but it does actually tell us a decent amount of the plans moving forward in the game. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, US nationals. What happened? Well, what happened was that they went, and by they I mean TAC, a company which is running nationals on behalf of Bandai, they went and put up a registration link yesterday, and a bunch of people went and registered for nationals. And that might not sound like a problem, but unfortunately, nationals and I say nationals, it's a Digimon TCG 2021 finals, but come on, nationals. And essentially, there was no way when you signed up of identifying yourself using your BCC number, because nationals in the US is an invite-only event. If you haven't gone and earned an invite, you don't get to play. And we talked about this in previous videos, and I know it's quite upsetting for some people. I know some people are gutted to be missing out, and I completely understand. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm willing to bet that it is pure numbers. They cannot run a tournament large enough with the number of players in the US, in North America, so essentially what they've gone and done is made it invite only, whereas they believe that in Oceania, Latin America and Europe, the player base being a bit smaller means that it's not going to be quite so oversubscribed. How true is that? We don't know, but that's the deal at the moment. Do remember that the registration for Europe has not yet gone up, whereas the registration for Oceania and Latin America went up yesterday. But Europe has not gone up yet. It will be January the 3rd, and I will be waiting. But this was a big problem, because there were a bunch of people who earned invites who didn't get into the tournament, and then there were a bunch of people that didn't have invites that did get into the tournament. And clearly this is a big problem, because if you go and qualify for an invite-only tournament, and you then don't get a chance to play in that tournament, that completely devalues the entire qualification period. It really devalues the entirety of organised play in North America. This was clearly a big problem, and you know what they did? They went and fixed it, and I'm sorry, I know that I'm making a YouTube video here. I know I'm supposed to be super angry and ranty and saying how everybody's completely out of order and all of that. I know that's what I'm supposed to do, and I'm sorry. But actually what happened was a mistake was made, and it was fixed. And what would you expect them to do in this situation? Well, you would expect them to cancel all the registrations, and then make a new registration, which is only available when you identify yourself using your BCC, your Bandai Card Club member number, your number that identifies you as someone who's qualified, that there would be a new link where you have to use that. And what happened? Well, they put out a post. Due to an issue of the Eventbrite page for North America Final Championships, all registrations have been cancelled and refunded. Okay, well that's the first thing we would expect. That sounds pretty good. We kindly ask invited players to re-register using your BCC ID at the following link from 5 PM today. Okay, that's the second thing we would expect. If you have an invite, you are guaranteed a spot in this event. If you do not have an invite, your registration will be cancelled and refunded. What more do you want? As far as I'm concerned, in terms of a fix, that is a perfect fix. Yes, it's a slightly embarrassing situation that there was no way to identify yourself as somebody with an invite and it went up as an open registration. You know what? We're getting near the end of the year. It's been a long, stressful year. Somebody made a mistake. It's not a big deal. And I should make clear, it's not Bandai that actually made this mistake. Bandai have got the tournament being run by people on their behalf, and somebody made a mistake. It happens. It's sad. It happens. It's not the end of the world. The only potential issue left over from this, the only thing that can really go wrong, is that there might be people who registered initially and went, yay, I'm registered, I'm good. and they don't see that their registration has been cancelled, and they don't realise that they have to go again. But again, this is an invite-only tournament, and I refuse to believe that anybody cares about the Digimon TCG enough to go to an event, to end in a place which gives them qualification, wants to play in the championship finals, and somehow, because this has been going all over Facebook, Twitter, everyone's been talking about it, I refuse to believe that anyone signed up in the first couple of minutes before it sold out yesterday and doesn't hear that they need to re-register. I refuse to believe that's happening. Is it unfortunate that it happened? Yes. Realistically, is it understandable that it happened? Yes. And could they really have given a better fix? You cancel, you refund, you do a new link where you've got to use your ID that's linked to your account where you earned your invite. Sounds perfectly good to me. Of course, the reason why it's important, the participation prizes are awesome. You get yourself a participation playmat, which is exclusive, it seems, to this tournament. And to be fair, it is stamped with Championship 2021 finals, so weird to see where else they'd give that out. Plus 4 of the Championship Finals Tamers Evolution Pack, 2 cards in each of them, remember, and then 3 each of Event Pack 1 and Event Pack 2, each of which are 1 card packs. I mean, this seems like a really good fix to an unfortunate problem, and I know that people in the US without an invite are upset about the fact that they don't have these participation prizes. I would be too, and I'll tell you now, for nothing, right? If I go to sign up on January the 3rd, and I assure you I will be there when it goes live on January the 3rd, if I go and try and sign up and it's full, or for whatever reason I can't get a place at that tournament, I am going to be gutted. So I do get it, but it seems to be fixed. The other piece of news we've had is kind of news and kind of not, depending how you look at it. It has been officially announced that there is going to be a ban list update. That was announced in Japan, and then it was announced in English, and that was that, quite frankly. So the tweet went out, as announced on the Japanese Twitter, the ban and restricted card list for the Japanese version will be updated in mid-January 2022. The same changes will be enacted in the English version at a later date. We will update you with more information as soon as possible. For what it's worth, I mean, everybody's out there making all these predictions. This happened with Dragon Ball Super, where a ban list has been announced and everybody's trying to guess what it is. It's kind of a pointless exercise. I'm not going to be making a ban list prediction video. What I will say is, if you've been watching, it seems like the number one card that people are predicting is going to be banned is the just released, or if you're in the US, not yet released, Ice Wall, because for 1 cost, all of your opponent's Digimon gain, when attacking, lose 2 memory until the end of their next turn. It's a super annoying card that Blue are taking advantage of lately. I could see that one being banned. It makes sense that it would be, seeing a bunch of play. But again, trying to actually make your prediction, and it's kind of it's a fun little exercise, don't get me wrong, and I'm peeking at the list. I mean, clearly, I've just told you, I am peeking at people's predicted lists, but at the moment, it's not something I have any real interest in doing a ban list prediction video. We're going to have a ban list update, and when it's updated, oh, you know I'm going to be there, ladies and gentlemen. You know I'm going to be there. Because as it stands at the moment, what we've essentially got are 2 restricted cards, both in green. We have got Hidden Potential Uncovered. That is the 0-cost card that lets you suspend a green Digimon to Digivolve into another Digimon, reducing the cost by 5, and the also really overpowered, ridiculous level 5 Argamon, which has Digisorption -3, and when attacking you may play 1 level 3 green Digimon from your hand suspended without paying its cost. And to be fair, before those cards went and got restricted, 1 per deck when they're restricted, they really were everywhere and just completely overtaking the meta. So I understand exactly why these got restricted. That made perfect sense. I don't know if there is a candidate, other than maybe Ice Wall, which is as strong to be banned or restricted as those, but it will be interesting to see. One thing that is kind of important though, it does seem like Digimon are going down the ban list not rotation route. Some games, like the Pokemon trading card game for instance, once a year, end of August, beginning of September, they rotate, which is to say, general rule, 4 sets. There are 4 sets released per year, so 1 year of the game is rotated out, so that year can't be used anymore. And then you essentially end the year with the same number of cards as you started. So you rotate a year's worth of cards, and then over the next year you release a year's worth of cards, and then you rotate a year's worth of cards, and so on and so forth. The fact that Digimon are doing these ban list updates does seem, and don't get me wrong, Pokemon does ban cards here or there, but in expanded generally, not in standard. This does suggest to me that rotation, I'm not saying it's never going to happen, and we do know that Bandai are potentially planning some tournaments with different formats, but I do think it's fair to say that rotation is not something we should be expecting in Digimon in the not too distant future. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Fun news, weird news, strange news. I don't know. I want to know what you think about it. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? And of course, come on, let's have some predictions of what's going to be banned. We don't need to make predictions, but it is kind of fun. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.